Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to yet another F1 Esports onboard video. Today we have the halfway marker of the championship at Zandvoort, and on screen right at the moment is the results from round 5 last time out in Belgium, where our teammate Bai secured his first win of the season and in F1 Esports, which was an amazing moment for the team, and we picked up P4 to get some solid points in the board. And we had I think our championship lead going into this race was 5 points to Frederick Rasmussen. So getting all pretty tight at this point in the season. So as we approach the halfway marker of the season. So starting now with our first run of Q1, and we're a bit of a snap through, I believe it's turn 4, the cambered left-hander, and heading through sector 2 now, using a lot of curb on the left hand side and the exit of the long downhill right-hander. Sorry for the sniffles, I'm not feeling amazing, but heading towards the end of sector 2 now. Got a bit of traffic with both Alfa Romeos there on the left hand side, not the most appealing thing to see when you're on a lap. Going over the chicane now, miles wide on the exit, as we have Luke Smith on the inside. Turning way too late for the last corner, and the lap looked not amazing, let's say. Didn't feel amazing, but it was still enough for a 10.04, and
FPS drops, so we have to stop recording, but it's actually insane. Yep, stop recording.
And that was enough for P3, and as you can now see, I do apologise, but the quality has dropped down a bit. That's because we had to switch recording methods. This isn't recorded from my PC now. This is recorded through other. I don't even exactly remember how it was done, but sorry for the downgrade in quality, but we still have the onboard POV. So going again in Q1, and we only just improve on sector 1 a little bit, which is we had a big snap in the lap before, so that was a little bit frustrating. Our lap was sort of right on the cusp of a cut-off that we expected, so it was, we needed to improve just to be safe, just to make sure. I mean, it would mean that we would be short on tyres for Q3 most likely, but, better safe than sorry. As we, only improve, I think I can't exactly see how much we are on the Delta, but, we're up a little bit as people start setting past our laps. We're down to P12 now, and down to P13 actually, so we know at this point we absolutely need to improve as we come at the last corner, and we should improve enough to get ourselves through. And we cross the line for a 9.71, and it pops us straight up to P2 again. So that's just how fine the margins are. I improved my time by maybe 800s, and look how close it is. From P2 to P... I mean, I can't see all the way down the order, but you can just see how close it is. This qualifying session was one of those moments in F1 Esports where everybody was just like, really? The whole grid separated by practically nothing. And it's frustrating because we should have easily been through with the first run had it been a tiny bit cleaner. But we also had FPS drops on the first run, so I stopped recording to fix that. Which is really weird because I only experienced it on like random occasions with the FPS going up and down, and before anybody begs it, this was 240 FPS capped, hence I was struggling with FPS drops. The only race all season I used 60 FPS was Mexico, and that was after other people were already using it, I'm pretty sure. So and I could only use it in that one race basically, so that was a shame. But anyway, heading now to the end of sector 2, DRS open, and the Delta's on the used lap, so always going to improve by quite a chunk. And oversteer on the exit there, so not an ideal start to sector 3. We've got one more corner to negotiate, kind of late apex point, and heading to the line now. What is it going to be for our first run of Q2? And it is only a 9.16, so certainly I've done better laps. We go P7 with that lap provisionally, so we absolutely have to use all of our tyres available essentially, and then we have just one run in Q3. So heading into our final run of Q2 now, and chucking it in high speed right-hander going into this cambered left-hander, getting the car in quite nicely. And we're just pushing the throttle a tiny bit too hard, but we are, I think, a bit up on our lap anyway, so that's fine. Heading now to sector 2. This corner's really fun. It's just so high commitment, high speed, high energy, high commitment right-hander. Very easy to throw your car off with that curb. And you don't want to brake too early for that right-hander, as the car doesn't treat the curb too nicely. Car reluctant to tuck into that left-hander, but we are quite a chunk up on our delta anyway, so it's looking pretty good at this point in the lap. Oh, a bit deep into that left-hander, but we did have an oversteer snap on this exit the last time out, so that might help us. But yeah, maybe dropping a tiny bit of potential through there. Clean last corner, and we are a little bit up in the delta. Not as good as a lap as it was turning out to be, but it should be, you know, good enough for us as we drop down to P11 momentarily before slapping it back up into P4. So yep, 7.95, not a great lap, but should be more than good enough to fire ourselves into Q3 with P5. So yeah, all important just to keep ourselves, you know, putting in the times for Q3. That's the main thing at the end of the day. So yeah, here we are for our one and only fresh tyre run of this F1 Esports qualifying at Zandvoort. So here we go, let's walk through it. Starting the lap now, looking for our braking point just before 50-metre board, and we understeer quite a bit there, but we still we have a clean execution, but just a bit too wide than preferred. But then high commitment through the right hander, and then getting the car nice and low. You don't want to take that high line in this game, but we had a nice exit. So apart from turn 1, nice and clean execution for sector 1. So that's one sector in the books. Heading into sector 2 now, high commitment right-hander, a smidge wide on the apex, but we can still carry good speed. Nice and smooth through that right-hander, high commitment. Bit too early on the brakes there. It's not ideal to be that tight on the line. Again, just a tiny fraction wide here and there is what's going to cost a couple of hundreds if we lose out on pole position, or in any position for that matter. Heading now through sector 3, nice and clean over the curb hop, which is really important to get right. Now one more corner to negotiate, getting the car in nice and early, getting on the power early, nice and clean through the exit, and we are, you know, purple provisionally on these sector times, albeit maybe losing a little bit here and there, and it is enough for provisional pole position with a 6.03 here in Zandvoort qualifying for F1 Esports. And yeah, the lap was clean, but we certainly dropped a few bits and bobs of time here and there everywhere around the lap. So yeah, but we are, you know, still provisional pole, and there's only 4 cars left. Make that 3 as our teammate slots into P3 with Mari. And sorry, I'm still sniffling, but yeah, only one more car that can deny his pole position today. It's Thomas Ronner. He heads to the line, and he does indeed snatch pole position away. And yeah, half a tenth away from pole position. And yeah, that's fair game, because we certainly lost, you know, little bits of chunks of time in the lap, but that's completely on me. But here we are. Not straightforward at all. Okay. Okay, no panic. Let's just do the math.
With intermediate.
Do we start? Oh, people are gonna start on inters, aren't they?
Yeah. Let's stay wet.
Stops, pits loss is not long here, so it's, I think, starting wet is the safest option.
Okay.
A lot of people are on. Freddy's on inters as well.
I'm not going on inters.
Right, we're starting.
Alright, quiet, everyone.
So we have our second wet race of the F1 Esports season, and yeah, let's get to it. It's going to be a good one. 5 red lights on your screen, and out they go very quickly. We get a pretty good start, just gets progressively better and better. We pull alongside Thomas Ronner, who just sort of turns into us there weirdly, and we go in really deep into turn 1 to gain the position, and we actually square it off nicely. And Thomas Ronner and Nicholas Longy, I believe, actually had contact in the background, so they dropped down big time. And yeah, Thomas would have got a somewhat of a switchback line, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think he would have got back underneath us, because yeah, we squared the line off nicely, and with how little grip there was, yeah, turning and getting on the power was not necessarily a guarantee to, yeah, gain a lot of time. So yeah, I think we executed a really good start there, and yeah, not bad. Up into P1 and P3 for Barry as well, from P7 on the grid after some qualifying infringements and stuff were applied in qualifying, so it's dropped them down. But yeah, got himself straight up into P3, which is fantastic for the team championship and for the race in general. So, you know, a great start. But yeah, Jarno Upmere also up to P2 as well, critically. But as you may have already gathered in this lap, there's not much grip. You know, there is yeah, it's very slippy at this point in the race, and thankfully with Zandvoort being such a high downforce circuit, you know, we were able to not really compromise the car far too much, so we could run it pretty optimal for the dry, but just, yeah, change basically like the front wing and stuff for the wetter conditions. So yeah, lap 1 in the books, and we have Jarno Upmere sitting 6-7 tenths behind us now, and it's all about just getting our head down. But the conditions were so difficult. I cannot stress how hard it was to drive at this point in the race.
It is the first car on Inter. He's dropping back like crazy.
Jarno is just fast.
We are really good, Lucas, right now.
Nice.
Please just leave it to it though, it's so hard to drive. So, I mean, as you can hear, I'm actually asking my engineer to please, yeah, try and talk as little as possible, just to how, just down to how hard it was just to execute lap after lap. And as you can see, we are just setting fastest lap after fastest lap in these wet conditions, and I was feeling really good in these conditions. Even though the car wasn't like fully wet set up, it was feeling, albeit tricky, it's feeling fast.
Lucas, we are P3 to box. Do you confirm that?
You're happy to box, you just say?
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sure.
What, Jarno?
I'm still going purple.
We need to go now, Lucas. They are matching the Inters.
So at the end of lap 7 now, we opt to box from the wet onto the Inter tyre, and we managed to pull a 2.5 second gap to Jarno Upmere behind. So yeah, the pace was looking really strong, and a key trend I noticed in this race as well is Barry, our teammate, goes that 1 lap extra, because obviously we were too close to double stack, and naturally you can't pit on the same lap when it's it would just lose too much time. So Barry going longer and is going to push like crazy on this lap, and rejoining the track now. We get out ahead of John Evans, who's still on the wet tyre, but crucially 2.4 seconds ahead or 2.3 seconds ahead of Jarno Upmere, and also critically Fredrik Rasmussen, who started on the intermediate tyre. So this was very good for our race. We are still in provisional P1 after choosing to start on the wet tyre, and what I was also mentioning there is Barry is now into the box as well, along with Moreno. Jarno Upmere, I'm on the team radio later in this race as well, was saying how he was running higher tyre pressure. Now, at the start of the race, and at the start of especially this stint as well, his pace was really strong. He was able to fire up the tyres quickly and, you know, be on it very quickly, but as the stint sort of progressed, he would start to drop off more and more as his tyres would give up quicker due to them maybe overheating. I think basically overheating quicker further into the stint. So yeah, we're going to start trading fastest laps now, I believe. So we set the fastest lap immediately, followed by Jarno Upmere 2.4 seconds back. Cutting on to the next lap, we set the fastest lap of the race, immediately followed by Jarno Upmere. It's a straight up trade off for fastest lap after fastest lap at this point in the race. Our teammate Barry also following in behind as well, trying to catch up to Jarno Upmere, who is actually catching us at this point in the race. As I was saying, he was very quick at the start of this stint, but now we set the fastest lap of the race. And does anyone touch it? No. So we actually, for the first time, we actually can solidify the fastest lap of the race and start to finally pull away from Jarno. And as you can see now, the gap is starting to go up quite a bit now, 3 second gap, and we're just being ultra consistent at this point in the race. As we come across the line, we set another fastest lap of the race, and Jarno dropping a little bit further behind again, as Barry now sets the fastest lap, pushing on a bit, I think, trying to catch Jarno Upmere. And yeah, it's looking good.
Because for your information, Jarno is on a super high rear tire pressure, because when now is he's so slow.
Understood. Good enough, thank you.
How's the condition for you, Lucas, right now?
It's definitely drying, but I don't know if it's
Okay.
slick.
You're half a second quicker in Spectre 1.
I'm gaining on Yarno so much.
Do you think we can go now?
No. I mean, maybe, but I think it's way too risky for me.
Alright, let's do one more with Lucas.
You sure?
One more, Lucas, one more.
I don't know. What should I do? Tell me. I'm getting so much
strategy option.
Yeah.
Alright, box for inches. For medium, sorry.
Because are you gonna box this stuff?
Yeah, box this up, box. Track is drying massively. It's just instantly dried up.
So now at the end of lap 19, we are boxing now off of the inters and onto the dries. Now, the key thing for us now is if Barry goes one lap longer, he will be in deep trouble with the track being nearly bone dry. So we opt to do something that you don't see very often in F1 Esports, and that is to double stack the cars. Now, that was an amazing call by the engineers. It was honestly phenomenal to pull off that call. It was on the spot. It was brilliant, and yeah, it was perfectly executed. And we have,
good, man.
and just due to the pace that we had towards the end of the stint as well, just consistently setting really good lap times. And you actually hear me say, tell the team to shut up politely, as yeah, it was just so critical. And obviously we can hear chatter in the background when we're in the shadow studio sometimes. So yeah, and rejoining this race now, we have just a huge lead. It was unbelievable to see this gap, just due to, I think, Jarno dropping off with the tyres getting too hot for him at the end of the stint with his tyre pressures, and that's why he had to go to hard tyres. He says if he went mediums, he would have completely overheated. So yeah, Jarno, yeah, he took a setup gamble, but now he's got to try and do something different in this race to sort of get to the end with the hard tyre, which, yeah, if he can keep the temperatures under control, yeah, maybe it works out at the end. But again, I don't actually know how high his rear pressures were, but yeah, as we can also see, Thomas Rauner opting to stay out an extra lap as well, and now finally boxing at the end of lap 20. So yeah, we are. We're in dreamland at the moment. The race has been near perfectly executed, like really well executed up to this point in the race, and we have I think I'm reading that right, a 6.7 second lead to Jarno. I make that 7.5 seconds now, just due to Jarno's struggles with the tyre pressures now, and Barry finally getting himself up into P2 now, which is, you know, from starting P7 to being P2, that is a phenomenal execution from our teammate there. So fantastic work overall. And yeah, on lap 25 of 36, we have a 7 point, I think I read that like a 7.3 second lead or something like that. But yeah, from this point on, there's no need for us to overpush.
So I have to try and use it as well. My hand is hurting.
You got this.
But he's so fast, this guy. I don't know how.
Do you want to have a go on fastest lap, Lucas?
So here we are in what could quite possibly be the most luxurious position I will ever find myself in my whole F1 Esports career. We have a huge lead to the cars behind. We've been on cruise control all stint, managing the tyres, managing my battery, and now I just get to go for the fastest lap of the race. And this whole race was just, it just felt too good to be true. I was just
gonna drive safety stuff,
driving in a rhythm, no problems, no worries. Just it was a dream, and it's something that happens so rarely in F1 Esports, so I had to savour it, I had to enjoy it, and here we are absolutely blasting the battery to go for the fastest lap of the race, which I believe was a 12.0. Now, the chances of us keeping it are pretty slim, because usually someone that's in P20 will slap on a set of soft and go for it, but I was going for it anyway. you always got to try. And yeah, purple sector 1 now as we wind through the end of sector 2 for the final time in what has been, you know, up to this point the most dominant race in F1 esports that I've ever done. Portimao in 2021 was a good race, but this race is just on another level again. This was amazing teamwork, amazing strategy calls, amazing execution, and we have maximised this race, and we are about to secure a 1-2 for the team.
Yeah, go! 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 Shout! Yeah, shout! Shout! As hard as you can! Yeah, shout! Go! Let's go!
Yes!
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
We did it! Look at camera! Look at that camera! Look at that camera! Let's go!
Yes!
Oh man, just there are few more satisfying feelings than, yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. It was our first event racing, you know, as a team at the McLaren Shadow Studio at the MTC, and to secure a 1-2 for the team was mind-blowing. We were losing our minds, as you can just hear. We were just pumped up, full of, you know, adrenaline, and it was so special. And yeah, it was amazing work from the whole team, and yeah, what a way to end the second event. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. So take care, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Love you all. Ciao.